Hello everyone and welcome back. So in this video, I want to be talking about XL stock because this morning I went ahead and sold XL stock, and boy oh boy does the market love rubbing salt in your wound, because today XL, right after the market opened, runs up 9%, almost 10% right now. So I figured it'd be a good time to make a video on several reasons why I sold XL stock, and then several reasons on did I sell XL stock too soon, which is pretty much the first question anyone asks after they sell a stock. And then we'll talk about, would I go ahead and buy XL stock back? And if I do, where would I look for a possible entry? So like always, let's go over to our trading screen, and then actually I want to start off here by reviewing the actual trade. Now this trade is still open. It's still documented as open. I go ahead and import my trades from TD Ameritrade in the morning of the next day. So tomorrow, if you guys are checking out this stock, which is 6824, is the number for this stock or trade, then you will see it closed with a picture. But this is a fairly small position size. Now, granted, my swing portfolio, the one that's part of the XL stock, is about a $30,000 portfolio. So this is not the biggest portfolio, but at the same time, this size here, around almost 2.5%, $2.5 thousand, puts it around like a 7% of my portfolio value. So at the same time, it's not the smallest position either. And that's kind of why I was holding it for so long. Our entry on average was at 13.7. So let's actually go ahead now and dive into the charts quickly here and talk about why I sold. So the first thing I want to talk about, and here you can see where I bought on bigger support. We were up like 20% or so, but this is when a lot of the energy stocks or EV stocks were all selling off a lot. It dipped another 45%, bounced up 45%, and then kept on selling off. At one time, from the all-time high here, it was down like 85%, which is a lot. And then for my entry, it was down around 60%, which is, again, a lot. Now, with swing trades, I usually don't cut my losses on them. I'll average down. If anything, I didn't have funds available at the time to average down on XL. Otherwise, I probably would have, especially once we were kind of consolidating here near the lows and not really dipping too much further down. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do that. I would have been able to reduce my cost per unit quite substantially, but that's a thing of the past. Now let's kind of zoom in here a little bit more. So we had that 85% sell-off, right? And then recently we had a big kind of run up here around 50%, and actually almost the perfect move into the 60%. Let me zoom in a little bit more, see if I can get that a little bit closer here, just for documentation purposes. Yeah, we ran up around 57%, getting close to that 60. And we had a pretty aggressive fail here. And also we had a big resistance above, where you can see last time we got into these highs, we actually ended up flushing, and there's kind of a lot of resistance between $8 and $9. And this kind of made me a little bit skeptical on like, do I really want to hold in this area? Because we've seen many tickers like MNMD that, tries to move back to the upside and then ends up getting flushed. For example, here we had a nice position. We were accumulating here and then had a nice little run up here. And you see time again where if there's two rejections, oftentimes the sell-off is a little bit greater. My goal originally was, okay, let's take profits now and then kind of see what happens. So let's go back to XL, which was kind of showing a little bit similar things, kind of got rejected here. It did end up holding the highs, but if we go here to the 4 hour a little bit more, you can kind of see the double rejection. This double rejection is one of the big reasons I ended up selling. So we had a rejection here, roughly at 850. We tried again at 850, and then we kind of were breaking the 9 EMA, which is the front side trend. And then I was like, we could be entering the backside. And that was the big reason I ended up closing it at 792 pre-market. Unfortunately, market opens and this thing just rallies. Let's go here to the 5 minutes so you can see a little bit better. Luckily, I didn't sell like near the lows. I got like a 792 exit, which, can't complain. But at the same time, kind of a shaky red to green move, and then it rips up. I don't want to talk so much about the daily because it's not so important for an overall swing trade. But I did, feel like it'd be worth zooming in here a little bit. Now, another reason I ended up selling is because the earnings came out, and that was 5/17, and there hasn't really been any big news since then. There was a board meeting we'll go over in a little bit near the end of this video as well, which seemed, overall fairly positive. Some really good new board members on the team, but Again, I feel like, after a 50% rally, sometimes a 70% rally, that's sometimes a good time to take profits and kind of readjust from there. We recently did it with IPOE before the merger, and we took some profits after this nice, really, really nice rally here, and then it pulled back around 10%. And here we ended up buying again into the SoFi merger. So we were able to lock in nice profits, buy the pullback, and have that continuation. Now this is a Roth IRA account, so for me, managing my position is much more favorable than a typical margin account or cash account that's outside of Roth IRA, because I don't pay taxes on gains. So if you have a nice 100% rally, good to take profits and then buy back again. We love doing that with this account. So overall, no major catalysts were really coming out that was making me super favorable on holding XL. And then just the overall volume. I'm a big momentum trader, and this volume down here was really not making me want to stick around. So those are some of the reasons why I ended up selling. Now, did I sell too soon? The first question that everyone asks after you sell something. Well, there's definitely a little bit of seller FOMO after that 8-9% pop right after I sold. It's like, oh, of course that would happen. But that's not really something we want to be paying attention too much to. I think that another big thing is, this 85% pullback from the highs is quite significant. So even if this is a dead cat bounce, I wouldn't be surprised if it kept on crawling up higher here, because for example, with space, bounces can be really, really strong. And space is a great example of this one. We rocked this move to the upside, but again, we sold this one way too soon. And this was also like a 77 or 75% move. I'm much more bullish on space long term. But in the end, I felt like this was a really good move. I was thinking about buying back, but we actually didn't have any more funds available in this account. I've been missing a lot of moves because I'm not having funds available in this swing trade account, which is a little bit stressful. That's a whole different topic on itself. But yeah, space, this bounce off the low was 140%. So if XL has a move at least over 100% from the lows, that would put it back, let's see, all the way here, close to here where we had this tip. So we had this kind of shooting star hammer candle formation here, which shows there's a lot of sellers, a lot of big resistance, and it's usually a reversal pattern. So I wouldn't be surprised if we came up here to this $9 area, where it's the first big zone of resistance. We try to break this area. If we do break this area, I wouldn't be totally surprised if we had that 100% rally and then back here to this $10 zone, where it's clear big resistance. So that's kind of the technical side of it. That's what I would be looking for. Now let's talk a little bit about what I like on the board. So on XL Fleet here, where is it? Yeah, so they recently had, you can see here, current report, an 8K came out. There was a, what's it called? A board meeting call. So we go here to the current report, the 8K. You can see here there was an election of directors. So Deborah, Declan, and Sarah. Now, some of these people have been on the board before, so some of them were re-elections. And these people are all very, very credible. Here we have Deborah. Let me just scroll down a little bit. Board of directors here from Spring Valley Acquisition Corp. She's all over the place with her board of directors. She's board of director hustler here. Board of directors for ITC Holdings Corp. Board of directors for Renewable Energy Corp. Board of directors XL Fleet. GE 7 years. GE is doing pretty well now after finding its low. So that's really credible board member. Declan Flanagan. Let's scroll down here. Ostred, Executive Vice President, CEO of Onshore, CEO, and then again CEO, Renewables North America. So people that are perfect for the board of directors in this renewable energy space, because XL Fleet fits combustion engine cars and makes them hybrid. So it's kind of like the first step to converting your fleet. So it makes a lot of sense. Here, Sarah Sklarczyk, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, Cambridge, Massachusetts, United States. Very credible people. XL Fleet here, board of directors, director of Pivotal Investment Corporation, co-founder and managing partner of Voyager. So it seems like a really, really nice board of director team. And also look at here, 4 on the vote, 59 million votes. as opposed to withhold or no voted. So it seems like all very favorable overall, I would say, for Epson in against 2.1. So seems very, very good. Seems like everyone's on the same page with this company. Now, another thing I really, really like on this one. Oh yeah, XL, has a bunch of awards as well. So I think sustainability-wise, and are they going to be around longer? It really seems like they have a great track record. So I am bullish on XL overall. Now it's just more of like kind of managing the trade a little bit. Here's another thing I really like about XL. Let's go back to FinViz here and scroll down. And first, you'll see actually up here, you can see their sales increased drastically. And this is what we learned in their quarterly statement. Again, if you guys want to dive into their quarterly report, 10Q, those are quarterlies. Check it here on sec.gov/Edgar. Let's come back down here. So their sales is going up really, really nicely. That's really good to see. They did have a little bit of dilution, but that is to get more capital. So if we come here to the balance sheet, you can see this time last year, they had about $3.4 million, or not dollars exactly, but cash and cash equivalents. And now they have 330. So talk about 100x. That's looking really good. So they have a nice amount of cash on reserves. That's really, really good to put them through. Not to mention, they had a few forward-looking statements in their last 10Q. That we're talking quite significantly about, this is their next 10Q, about sales coming in Q2, kind of Corona restrictions lightening up and more funds coming available in terms of their clients being able to reinvest in their fleets with more deliveries and whatnot. So it seems like there's going to be more bullish news coming up. So in that way, there is a lot of reasons to be bullish. So now it's like, oh, did I sell too soon? That's always the question, right? And maybe actually a last little snippet here is the fact that you can kind of see here very quickly XL on StockTwits. I don't really like mentioning StockTwits too much, but really quickly, it doesn't take a lot. Actually, they just updated, but if you're on Reddit with the Wall Street Bets, or you just pay attention to the news even a little bit, XL oftentimes is in the same conversation as AMC, GMC, BlackBerry, you name it. It's a bit of a meme stock, right? So the more it gets picked up, I'm not the biggest one on trading off of meme stocks, but it is a candidate for that. So again, that has another, technically big upside potential. We have a short float here of 23% as of last time it was reported. It's a New York City, a New York Stock Exchange stock, so that could be 30 days old roughly, although those reports usually come out on the 1st or right at the end of the month. So more like maybe eight days old or so. Short ratio here, 2.56, which is basically how many days it would take for all the shorts to cover based on the average volume. So yeah, XL, huge squeeze candidate for sure. Good upside potential. So what I would be looking for, would I be buying back? I mean, it's horrible because I am bullish on this company. I thought we were coming towards some big resistance. Did I overmanage this position? Maybe. If we can get a little bit of a sell-off here, especially with this light volume, I would probably consider buying back. I'm not sure how aggressive I would get on that buyback, but again, I do think we have some pretty good upside potential right now where the price currently is. Let's go here to maybe the 4-hour, zoom in a little bit, and you'll see right where the price is. Let's say we get to $10, it's about a 25% upside, and let's say we sell off towards this 180 day simple moving average. It's actually a 4-hour, not day right now. So 180 simple moving average. This would be about 22% downside. So risk reward right now is kind of similar. If we come back to this key support zone, you can also see here on the 4-hour, it's a bit of a key support zone. We had a big bounce, the bigger initial bounce off this. We eventually broke under this. We had a few retests here in this area. And then once we crawled above this, that's when we were bullish again. So I wouldn't be totally surprised if we came back down to these areas. That's about a 20% dip. And then about 20% upside here to get to that 100% rally. So maybe if we did come back down here, let me say exchange rate expansion quickly. Let's say we did come down here to this where we were just talking about 20% down. I would probably consider buying it back in the 7.5 zones. I really don't know if that's going to happen, but if we do, you could pretty much bet I'll be probably long XL. I would love to hear, are you guys long XL? What's your price target? Are you not long it? And if you're not, where would you look to buy it? Yeah, there's a lot more to talk about here. Anyway, guys, we'll wrap it up with that. Don't forget to drop a like on the way out. Easiest way to support the channel. Subscribe if you're new. And like always, guys, stay safe and make some awesome trades. I'll see you then first thing tomorrow morning on the stream. Ciao, ciao, guys.